into a track meet. Aaliyah Boston, a 24-point night. Here is Clark from the three-point line, and Kelsey Plum's a lot of firepower in the backcourt.
Ability can really spread the floor.
Indiana has the advantage, and Boston.
For AB.
Chelsea Gray, beautiful find. Mitchell catch and shoot. Wilson going to work from the Smith is open, and Gray steps into it, fakes the three, feeds inside to Boston.
So well, being able to
here for Caitlin Clark. She's found Boston games as a playoff tune-up. I played postseason play. Clark launches has been here lately, but
go playing against the Aces on to that adversity as a pro.
Three-pointers made as Gray backing in.
Yeah, that's tough. I think mismatch is she's a great shooter.
But really starting to round into form here. Here's Clark handing off to Smith, who hangs
here. Still has the ability to score.
As Clark bounces ahead, and Mitchell beats
up on a big up on top of the.
Smith got the credit for the steal. I think it could have gone driving. Clark gets inside, and
that we've seen just being able up, and I think she does that. It has massive.
Clark enters the night second in free throw. Tiffany Hayes, who really packed a punch, allowed to be frustrated, and as long.
Especially when it's directed toward yourself and your own, with yourself, a little bit with the refs, and better place. But I'm not gonna lie.
The rest of next game, I'm not gonna suspend. Mitchell turns the corner, flips it up, and here is Young pulling up and knocking.
You have to be able to come back and know
of the Eastern Conference in scoring.
Single possession and hope she misses.
Clark smart. Plum fire away. There by Kia Stokes. Top scores, two of college's top.
Here in the stands compared to Fever, aim all the way from Edwardsville to one. Make sure to come guard me.
Iowa fans to be tuned in here tonight. Plenty of Hawkeye affiliation Wednesday.
With the team, it's just saying, hey,
It was a huge story in Las Vegas. She passed Damon Bailey's icon, Stephanie White, Dana Evs like Jackie Young.
Everybody gets it, so just how unique it is. Kelsey Plum, who probably wasn't too happy with her.
Combined for just 15 points. It's the on this Aces roster. It might be the type of game on Wednesday that here's Hayes weaving her way inside. Aaliyah Boston is
able to stay mentally in it, to have those plays second quarter with high hopes.
Let's see the second half of the season. Jackie Young missed. Smith from the mid-range, off the mark since game 13 of the season. Wilson extra pass. Alicia Clark helped push the Aces over the top. Mitchell driving, gets by Colson, gets to of all time at the just 6 minutes. Bagbenley deep
every time, sometimes even an M1.
Bagbenley. Colson launches. Bagbenley feed inside Dantes. Oh,
her bread and butter.
I'll start of the little bit of an old-fashioned game. Here's Gray. Dantes launches, zipping up the second as Kelsey Plum. She's hit both of Las Vegas's.
And being able to go coast to coast.
Indiana took the lead. Mitchell weaving her way inside the left hand.
You never really know what's going up.
They're attacking. Here's Clark, float shot. Gustafson left alone, and she
test on a big. I mean, it just
a 10-2 response.
Couple shot off the glass.
Seeing two constantly, and that passes to one is on Dantes, but this is not a rule. You have to be really careful.
And I'm telling you, at least 3 times.
He's on the drive, gets inside, but shot two welcomed her in with open arms. Absolutely.
He's going to be able to start on anybody else.
I'm starting to get just a little bit chippy.
But being able to come back.
Quality of the Aces, something they want to sidesteps Gustafson and
get the defense in the air. So never too high, never too low.
Oh, Mitchell shot out of a cannon.
That speed going downhill.
It's Gray the other crossover. Oh, big step back. Extra pass and Young, but she's open. And Clark setting the WNBA as they are hanging around. Plum gets it. Plum off to on Wednesday. Now both of these teams will be watching and it could lock down the 6th seed.
Taking any plays off. Finishing through. Board.
Spinning on Wilson. Drop step
a little bit. In her form, knowing you're gonna make it.
This is a 1 or 2 point game. Just really hard to beat teams this. And the new single season record. Likely on the bench here the rest of the way. And has had some stretches, some 2 and 4 have extended periods seeing a double team. And it was ripped
out of their head along with her.
And a foul there on Stokes.
Practice between them and how hard they the talent. They're all about getting.
Clark is open and Elite. Mitchell working on Plum.
Did you really need it? But as long as it goes.
Pushes ahead. Wilson puts on the break. Gotta hurry outside for Boston, who launches in every way measurable. The playoff bound, but where will finishing touches on the 6th seed. Post entry to Wilson, who faced for half here on the season. Gray left open. Lead this group to an 8-3.
Being able to stay mentally strong, take one.
It's a completely different story trying to. Boston gets the roll.
The free throw line is exactly where
It's single digits. Young sidesteps hold.
man. She went through. Yeah, it wasn't a shot.
Oh, Chelsea Gray. Shot.
Man. If you have it, but just seeing it, she also celebrated.
Jackie Young has a technical here. She cannot afford to. Fire inside. Smith off the shoe tight now. Both coaches wanting fouls.
Settle everybody down. See if you can make a good play.
Up the pace to start to get this on. Clark launches.
And seeing the frustration on her that you can lead your team with, she has plenty.
Clark, Boston screen, fire away. Stops on this end, and Gray is wide open.
And Jackie both have the ability.
Floor. Stokes launches. Wilson switch. Extra pass. It's Clark open for throw. Comes down with an extra pass to Smith. Spinning inside, fading. Young rises. Mitchell putting on the moves.
Which again, they play so well in, pushing on that defensive end. See if you can get some stops.
Young probing, leaning wrong foot. Asia Wilson there.
Yeah, go and make a difference.
Boston hounding with
Important of why aces are good. You're going to be able to give that break to Jackie Young.
Boston.
South Carolina is a great players.
Here is Wilson. Green drives inside and a big shot. All of these points in the third quarter. Clark sticks with her feet inside. It's Aces went 3 minutes 15 on the baseline, and now Fagbenle could.
Big passes like Sidney Colson.
Of officiating has explained.
Which is huge to note. Earlier, this is the only team they haven't beat this.
Clark, step back as Clark feeds ahead.
I couldn't even stop.
Would never for a second get briefly a couple times here tonight. Gray pulling up over Clark. And Clark can't get it off. Clark, and Indiana back within 3. Back outside. Dantas launches.
In that, or late in that second quarter, being able to
swing it. Gray way down. Crossover. Clark. Here's Hayes driving into traffic.
Players. Nice top of the key.
Second half. Indiana's defense. Gray going behind the back. The defense off guard. Tis has to get it up. Was it on? Off Fagbenle draws the foul.
Again, just making that.
In 11 minutes off the bench. Of her first 22 free throws this year. Those are big shots as Plum over Fagbenle hit. Oh, driving on Gray. Got by her. Oh, with a shot clock finds Boston, who's open. And
high.
Wilson runs into a wall. And Wilson set Stokes corner 3. That won't. This is 3 for 3. Mitchell on the drive. Mitchell for her first points of the second half. 5:43.
Yes, I agree. It's 5:30.
The Fever are just sick in a tightly contested game as Gray. Mitchell inside for
Difficult to stay with the ball.
Bounce pass here for Boston, who finds some space. Wilson over Boston. Dead ops for Dantas. Backing in on Henley was 2.
But you really have to dial in.
The fourth quarter is on the floor. Free throw WNBA. And the Fever are fit. Wilson faces up and Mitchell with the floater into the corner. Open is Plum. Boston backing her way in. Muscles inside. Boston points.
I mean, she's just so dynamic.
Gray driving, fading, firing. You're on the Knights. And at the field house. Wilson driving in.
Along with being able to move side to the same time, especially and as well.
Boston, she's wide open and
Same play.
Shot fake, driving on Boston. Wilson.
Pretty it looks. It's so efficient. Knock that down.
How about hounding defense back in the defenders. Clark gets by her and gets to the rim.
Big stop here, but you can't go.
Plum leans in. Clark will launch. 3 here of the Knights. Kick out Plum and it just continues to roll. What a scene. Fakes the 3, finds some space and knocks. Fagbenle face guarding Will. Plum off the screen. She launches here today. And she's all in Indiana trailing by 3. Boston for the tie. Oh. An 83% free throw shooter. Maybe got away with extra steps. Well, you've seen, I think, a couple 4 Olympic gold medalists.
Yep.
Oh, great.
Nothing crazy, nothing silly.
And that's how this one will. Knights here from Indiana. The WNBA leaves it back. Gray thought about the 3. Post entry to Wilson, who faced Indiana averaging 42 per half here on the season. Way into traffic. Gray left open. Olympic break. Caitlin Clark has helped lead this group to an 8-3.
They have the ability to come back, but being able to stay mentally strong, take one
From behind win in overtime. It's a completely different story trying to... Clark bouncing. Boston gets the roll.
in effect right there, right below the free throw line is exactly where...
Out of the timeout, they pulled back within 9. It's single digits. Young sidesteps hole. Good to see her get going if you're a Fever fan.
Man. The shooters, you only need to see one go through. Yeah, it wasn't a shot. Well,
now we'll see if that's what Clark needed to get going. Oh, Chelsea Gray reels from point guard.
man, if you have a great way, and I know she's probably practiced it, but just seeing it, she also celebrates.
That's a foul on Jackie Young. Picked up her third. Also has a technical here. She cannot afford to go off the screen. The bounce from Clark. Far under. Fire. Clark inside. Smith off the shoot. Chaotic out here right now. Both coaches wanting foul.
Veteran leadership really comes in, really trying to settle everybody down, see if you can make a good play.
So hard right now to pick up the pace, to start to get this off. Trying to push through and Clark launches.
Normally makes, and seeing the frustration on her, shots aren't falling. What else do you have in your bag that you can lead your team with? She has plenty.
Out of that backcourt. Clark, Boston screen, fire away.
If you can get this going.
Weaver needing stops on this end, and Gray is wide open.
You notice that Plum and Jackie both have the ability.
Indiana needing stops on this end of the floor. Stokes launches. It's a good sign for Indiana. Wilson switching into Mitchell, who sticks right with her. Extra pass, it's Clark open for three. Clark, backdoor, Hole comes down with it. Extra pass to Smith. Clark spinning inside, fading. Young rises. Mitchell putting on the moves.
Oh, but here is a huge steal, which again, they play so well into run. So that's what you want to see, especially on that defensive end. See if you can get some stops.
Young probing, leaning. She kind of tried to wrong foot Asia Wilson there.
Yeah, timing a little bit different so that she can go and make a difference.
Boston hounding.
And now this is important of why aces are good. Haynes is Garner, who's extremely athletic, but you're going to be able to give that break to Jackie Young.
Boston.
See and how special that is. South Carolina is a great, along with great character, high passionate players.
Here is Wilson. Clark off the screen, drives inside, and the big shot. And here's what she's done. All of these points in the third quarter. Colson driving on Clark. Clark sticks with her feet inside. It's
set her up for success. I think that was great.
The Aces went 3 minutes 15. Bails out the Aces with a beautiful move on the baseline, and now Fagbenle could.
Full speed, eyes up, so you can make passes like Sydney Colson.
Play, but as Sue Blau, the head of officiating, has explained, by falling to the ground.
Right, which is huge to note. And notice that you mentioned that a little earlier. This is the only team they haven't beat this last a little bit.
Clark, step back. Fever with a chance to tie as Clark feeds ahead.
That move, she got it up so quick, I couldn't even stop.
15 years here, and it would never for a second get. Fever have only led just briefly a couple times here tonight. Game clock. Gray shot fakes the three. Gray pulling up over Clark. And Clark can't get it off. Points in the third quarter for Caitlin Clark. And Indiana back within 3. Wheeler back outside. Dantas launches.
So, we saw it early in that, or late in that second quarter, being able to.
Clark swing it. Gray way down. Clark, the crossover. Clark deficit they've been able to erase. Here's Hayes driving into traffic.
They kind of lose sight of their players. Nice top of the key.
Held to 17 points here in the second half. Indiana's deep. Extra pass from Clark. This time Gray going behind the back. It has an ability to totally catch the defense off guard. There's an efficiency to it as well. Dantas has to get it up. Was it up? Clark, handoff, Fagbenle draws the foul.
And Lexi Hall, we've seen it time and time again, just making that.
Who has 2 points, 5 rebounds in 11 minutes off the bench. In fact, Benley hit 20 of her first 22 free throws this year. She missed the 2 that she took. Those are big shots as Plum over Fag Benley hit.
Surely it did not.
Bull driving on Gray, got by her. With a shot drive, Clark circling around, finds Boston who's open. And
get the defense low so you can go high.
Wilson runs into a wall. And Wilson who set Diana Taurasi for seconds. Stokes, corner 3. That won't. Clark bouncing. Dantas is 3 for 3. There. Clark looking ahead. Mitchell on the drive. Mitchell headed to the free throw line here, looking for her first points of the second half. They're going to need to be in concert here over the final 5:43.
Yes, I agree. Get it done here in this last 5:30.
The Fever are just sixily the difference between these two teams in a tightly contested game is Gray.
Almost unblockable.
Mitchell inside for
He also has that ability to pass, what makes it difficult to stay with the ball.
Clock winding down to 5. Gonna have to create the bounce pass here for Boston, who finds some space. Back up by 6. Wilson over Boston. Had that mid-range to her if she wants it. Instead, opts for Dantas. Backing in on stride. Dynasty run. Tammy Fag Benley was 2.
I know you're not going out there trying to miss, but you really have to dial in.
Have this be about a tie game here in the fourth quarter. But the free throw minutes qualify as clutch games in the WNBA. And the Fever are really good in tight games. Wilson faces up and
good. Great defense. Better. Oh.
Mitchell with the floater. Young into the corner. Open as Plum here tonight. Boston backing her way in. Muscles inside.
Free throw line. Gotta cash it in.
Boston to go along with her 12 points. Done a pretty good job.
I mean, she's just so dynamic.
Gray driving, fading, fire. 9 of 18 here on the night. And let the fly. Meaningful games here from Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Wilson driving in
to contest the shot, along with being able to move side to side, hands high, and move the feet at the same time, especially and also being able to have that defensive as well.
On to 5, off the Boston screen, behind the back to Boston. She's wide open and connect.
Especially when it comes down to gameplay.
Wilson, the shot fake, driving on Boston. Wilson.
And it's not always just for how pretty it looks. It's so efficient in the shooting pocket for Aaliyah Boston to knock that down.
How about final possessions here this year? Oh, hounding defense back in the... Working on Young, one of the best defenders. Clark gets by her and gets to the rim.
2-point game. You got to be able to get a big stop here, but you can't go.
Plum leans in. The switch on to Wilson. Clark will launch. Clark can't knock down her 3rd 3 here of the night. Young on the drive, right up the middle. Kick out Plum. And moments ago as Minnesota just continues to roll. What a scene. They've gotten it tied in the 4th quarter. Clark drives the kick out. Dantas shot fakes the 3, finds some space and knocks. Fag Benley face guarding Will. Moment to go. Backing her way up. Plum off the screen. She launches this record here earlier today. And she's on just under 24 seconds left to play in Indiana, trailing by 3. Mitchell driving on Clark. Mitchell, Boston for the tie. Oh. Line here. Ray is an 83% free throw shooter. It's inside, feeds Fag Benley. Maybe got away with extra steps. Well, you've seen, I think, a couple medal of a team who's won it twice and has 4 Olympic gold medalists.
Yep.
Oh, great.
This is to remain disciplined. Nothing crazy, nothing silly.
A double team. And that's how this one will see. Casper, I'm Pat Boylan. Good nights here from Indiana. The WNBA.